Welcome to Environmental Studies class. Topic of the class is Plants Part 2. Plants on the different climate environment. Plants of each region are different from plants of other region. Example, coconut tree can grow in coast region, but it cannot grow in desert region. Coconut tree requires lot of water to grow and to produce coconut. Special features that allow a plant or animal to survive in a particular place are called as adaptation. Example, the adaptation of pine tree to land does not allow it to grow in water. Based on the habitat adaptation, plants are divided into two types: terrestrial plants, aquatic plants. Terrestrial plants that grow on land are called terrestrial plants. Terrestrial plants which grow on land are adapted to different regions such as mountains, plains, desert, coast, swamp. Examples of plants that grow in mountain or hilly areas are pine tree, tea plant, pine tree, tea plant. These plants have needle-like leaves. The leaves are covered with waxy coating which prevents damage from snow. These plants have cones instead of flower. Cones encode the seed and protect them from snow. Plains. Example of the trees that grow in plains are oak tree, elm tree, maple tree, gulmohar tree. Oak tree, gulmohar tree. These trees shed their leaves during winter, hence they are called deciduous tree. Shedding of trees leaves help the tree to prevent water loss and survive in winter. The trees develop fresh leaves when the season changes. Desert. Example of the plants that grow in desert are cactus, prickly pear, date palm. Cactus plant, date palm. The desert areas are covered with sand and receive very little rain. The plants which need very little water to survive grow here. These plants have roots that grow deep or spread widely, which help them absorb more of the available water. The plants either do not have leaves or their leaves are in the form of spines, which prevent loss of water through leaves. The stem of these plants are green and fleshy. It prepares food for the plant and store water. Coastal areas. Examples of plants that grow in coastal areas are coconut tree. Coconut tree. The coconut palm has a fibrous and flexible stem which can withstand any wind and rainfall of the coastal area. The fruits of the coconut palm have a thick fibrous coat which helps them float in water and get dispersed. Swampy areas. Example of the plants that grow in swampy areas are river beech tree, red maple tree, oak tree, red maple tree. Swampy area. Plants that grow in marshy or swampy areas are called mangroves. Roots of the mangroves does not get air to breathe because the sand in swampy area is filled with water. The mangroves have developed breathing roots which grow above the soil to breathe. Aquatic plants. Plants that grow in water are called as aquatic plants. These are of three types: free floating plant, fixed plant, underwater plants. Free floating plants. These plants are not fixed to the soil. They float freely on the water. Stems and leaves of these plants are light and spongy, which helps them to grow freely in water. Examples: water hyacinth, duckweed. Water hyacinth, duckweed. Fixed plants. These plants are fixed on the soil on the bottom of the roots. They have very long and hollow flexible stem to reach the surface of the water and withstand water currents. Their leaves are broad and flat, which helps them float on water. The leaves are covered with a waxy coating to ensure water slips off the surface. When it rains, leaves can be in touch with air to take in oxygen. The leaves have small pores called stomata only on the upper surface, so the water does not block the pores. The flowers are large and bright, which help them float and attract pollinators. Example: water lily, lotus. Water lily, lotus plant. Underwater plants. These plants grow under the water and are not visible above the surface of water. The roots are fixed to the soil at the bottom of a water body. They have thin, narrow leaves to withstand water currents, and the leaves do not have any stomata. These plants breathe through their body surface. Example: tape grass, pondweed. Tape grass, pondweed. The trees are also divided into two types called as deciduous tree, evergreen tree. Deciduous tree, the trees that shed their leaves during some season and again regrow it in another season is called as deciduous tree. Deciduous trees. Maple tree in winter season. Oak tree in winter season. Evergreen trees. The trees that do not shed their leaves in any season and remain green in all the seasons are called as evergreen tree. Except Antarctica, evergreen tree can be found on every continent. Evergreen trees. Activity 1. Do you know some plants which do not grow around you? Say things that we eat and not grown around you. Who eats the fruit of trees that grow wild? Whom do the wild plants belong to? Name some evergreen tree. Name some deciduous tree characteristics. Broad flat leaves. Loose flowers or leaves each year in the fall. Flowering plants. Hardwood. Deciduous trees characteristics: hardwood timber, lose their leaves in autumn except holly. Trunk divides to develop large branches, large broad leaves. Thank you for watching this video.